we can understand by this example that although a jiva desires, he doesn't have the independence or the free will to move anything, not even his own body. So therefore, me offering arti to the Lord is not me offering. I am desiring to offer. The Lord is only sitting in me, making me offer the Lord to himself. That's what Prabhupada writes here. So this is what this verse is. Brahmarpanam Brahma Havis. So why is it important for Chitraketu to come to this point of meditation? Because I should not even be thinking that I am doing something. No, my dear Lord, you are the doer. You are only, this is what Anirudh Prabhu was saying, it is achintya bheda abheda tattva. Come to a point to not even see me there. I am there only because of him. Prabhupada writes in the 2nd chapter in one of the purports, this is called theory of reflection. Bimba Pratibimba Vada, which is one of the very famous philosophies of Madhvacharya. In this verse, Krishna speaking Brahmarpanam Brahmavis. If you sit in a sacrifice, when you say Brahma Arpanam, let's say you donate something to someone. Let's say you donated a gift of, Hayagriva gave a box of chocolates to someone. You see, Brahma Arpanam. Hayagriva is giving a box of sweets to another devotee, your friend. You see, Krishna is saying, do not think that I gave this box of sweets to someone. Brahma Arpanam, I am not giving this box of sweets. Actually, Krishna through me is giving a box of sweets. First point, Brahma Arpanam. Brahma Havis, that box of sweets that I gave, that also is Brahman. Because this material world is not different from Krishna. Brahma Havis, that you pour into the fire, the Havis, the ghee, the wood, everything that is also Krishna. Riteratam yat pratiyetam na pratiyeta shatmani. Narayana, Krishna tells this to Narayana, Brahmaji in the 2nd chapter, 2.9.37. Chatushloki Bhagavat. Riteratam yati pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani. That which you consider to be matter is actually spiritual when you connect it to Krishna. You see? So Brahmarpanam, Hayagriva gave a box of sweets to his friend. Actually it is not Hayagriva, but Krishna inside Hayagriva influenced Hayagriva to give a box of sweets. Not sweets, but he gave Krishna. Brahma Havis. And then Brahmagnau. When you pour something into the fire is swallowing it. Is it fire? No, that fire also is Krishna. Because fire is consumed, the consummate, that which is consumed and the consummate, both, everything is Brahman. See, Brahmagnau, Brahmana Hutam, the priest who is conducting the yajna, he is also Brahman because he is not doing it. Krishna sitting inside him is making him do it. Right? Brahmaiva tena gantavyam. So for a pursuer or a sadhaka, this is the only gantavyam. Brahmaiva, Brahma-iva. Seeing Krishna in everything is the culmination of one sadhana. To see Krishna in the doer, to see Krishna in the havis, to see Krishna in everything. When two people are transacting, so Vasudevam Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabhaha. To see Krishna in everything, not everything as Krishna. This is very important to understand. Mayavadis will jump quickly here. To not see everything as Krishna, but to see Krishna in everything. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina matsthani sarvabhutani nachaham teshva avasthitaha. Krishna says, Maya tatam idam sarvam. Tatam means I am spread everywhere, but I am not everything. I am there in everything, but I am not everything. So therefore, he's preparing Chitraketu's consciousness to come to this point to say, Prabhupada writes in the last line, he is the only seer, the only worker, the only listener, and the only active principle or the supreme controller. So if you see, there are three things of sacrifice. For us as a sadhaka, I have to give what is the tyaga I should do? Kartritva buddhi tyaga. I should renounce the thought that I am doing something. Sometimes we feel, I am doing this sadhana, Prabhuji. Think about it. Me lifting the bead and chanting, it is not me who is lifting the bead and chanting, because tomorrow if the Lord withdraws the power to lift the bead and chant, I will not even be able to lift the bead and chant. If He removes my vocal cords, I will not be able to chant the mantra. It is the Lord who is helping me to lift the bead and rotate the beads. It is the Lord who is sitting inside me and helping me to vocate the vocal cords. So therefore, Kartritva buddhi tyaga. Naham karta, hari karta. He is only making me to do sadhana. This sadhana, he is only helping me to do sadhana. Therefore, I have to express to you, my dear Lord, a gratitude that you are. So therefore, just as iron, my body is iron, because you have entered into this body, yontah pravishyanti, mamavacham imam prasuktam. Just as you have entered my body and helping me purify my senses by making me to do bhakti, therefore I express my gratitude to you. So this is one, kartritva buddhi tyaga. Mamata tyaga means not attached to anything, not attached to me and mine. This is second thing. And the third thing is not attached to fruits, phalat tyaga. This is real meaning of sacrifice. Not abandoning things. See, we have to do. Why? Because in Arjuna's sake, for Arjuna, how does it apply? You have to go and fight the war, but that war should become a sacrifice or a yagna. How? You are the Brahmanam, Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavis, Brahmaiva tena gantavyam, Brahma karma samadhina. This is how one can continue to exist in this material world, but all their karma becomes Brahman. Everything, because even a sannyasi has to do some karma, is it not? He eats, he evacuates, he breathes, he drinks water, all of this karma this is karma, this is activity through the body. But when this karma is happening, the consciousness is what determines how pure that karma is. Brahma karma samadhinam. So therefore, transcendental knowledge means we have to execute karma in such a way that everything gets spiritualized. We go and take a shower. This shower itself is purifying consciousness. How can one meditate? I'm taking a shower, because one can leave the body while taking a shower, is it not? One cannot say, I have to be chanting only while I leave my body. One can leave the body while taking a shower. So therefore, how can I spiritualize my consciousness while taking a shower? That is also given by the Acharyas. In Kannada, there is a poem, Snana Vande Salade. Even while showering, if one leaves the body, thinking that I am not showering me, but I am showering the Supreme Lord within my body, because this body is the temple of the Lord. So this is how one jnana avasthita chetasa, always establishing one's consciousness, chitta, in meditation of the Lord, at all time, places and circumstances. Why this becomes important here in this case is because who is supposed to be the Aradhya Daiva or the Ishta Devata of Chitraketu? Sankarshana. And Sankarshana is our Supreme Lord, who is the maintainer of this universe in one sense. Everything is on the hood of Sankarshana or Adisesha, if you see. And Adisesha is none other than our, in the Navadvip Leela, Nityananda Prabhu. So, in fact, Mayatite Vyapi Vaikuntha Loke Purna Ishware Shri Chaturvyuha Madhye Rupam Yasya Udbhati Sankarshanakhyam Tam Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapadye. Adilila 1.8. So the whole idea is to, the culmination of these two verses finally is to take Chitraketu to meditate on his Ishta Devata, Lord Sankarshana. For us it is Lord Nityananda, that he is the cause of this material universe that exists. So that is why he began his Upadesha with the Chaturvyuha incarnations. You see, and then he will finally culminate with Sankarshana. So I'll stop here, I'll just summarize. These two verses talk about two important things, that Krishna is beyond these senses, our material senses, but Krishna is behind our senses. And to meditate on this aspect that he is beyond and also he is behind our senses, by doing this janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vetti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mamet. So one who meditates that Krishna or Hrishikesha is the one who is behind and beyond my senses, just by contemplating on this, one can come into the state of jnana avastita chetasa, and to see in all transactions in the world him alone, because at one point in time I should not see anything else except Krishna, even in my transactions, even in me. So this is simultaneously one and different. Because Prabhupada one time in one of the 11th canto, he says the whole topic of Bhagavatam is merging into the Lord. So merging doesn't mean merging of becoming one with the Lord in the sense of quantitative. Merging means to not even consider that that I also will go, but I'm always a servant. My constitutional position is revealed, that I'm always at your service, because my focus is only you and your service. So that is how Chitraketu's consciousness is being prepared by Narada Muni before he is prepared to witness the Lord. So I'll stop here. If Anirudh Prabhu wants to add something, Prabhuji. If you want to add something.
We've got to be careful about seeing everything as Krishna. And I think whilst everything is Krishna, at the same time there are differences. And of course that's the essence of being an Advaita. In the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentions that there are 5 causes of action. And one is the body, the other one is the doer, the karta, that's the soul, that's us. And so, whilst Krishna is doing everything, right, at the same time, we are important in that things don't happen unless we want them to.
Yes.
And so, that everything is being done by Krishna shouldn't minimize the importance of understanding the doer as the individual, and of course that's where the Ajita Advaita comes in, because we are simultaneously
One and different.
spiritual by nature, but infinitesimally small. And God is spiritual by nature, that's Vibhu. We're the Anu and He's the Vibhu. But part of all that creation of
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. So Prabhu is also mentioning that while it is important to meditate on Krishna as the doer, it is also important to know that we are also doer. We are also one of the doers, not necessarily the primary doer. Krishna is the primary doer. We are also one of the kartas. That's very important to understand. Otherwise, there is a very thin line. Sometimes we think, otherwise, everything is done by God, so bad things are also done by God. There are always people who push the blame on Krishna, but we are also the doer. We desire to do, and Krishna facilitates that. Thank you, Prabhuji. Any questions or comments? Yes, Savior.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the nice class. You said that we can't understand of Krishna without material senses.
Yeah.
But we see in Bhagavad-gītā chapter 81, Krishna says, by devotional philosophy to understand him in full truth. But we see when we're doing devotional things, we're using our material senses.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice question. The question is, I said we cannot understand by Krishna by our material senses, but Krishna says, devotees understand me by doing their devotional service. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Yeah. So how do we bring these to get together? How do we understand seemingly different contradictory statements? In fact, in that verse, Prabhuji, would you like to answer? Prabhuji, sorry. Would you like to answer, Prabhu? Okay, Prabhuji. Krishna says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati. And this verse also applies there, because although the senses are mundane, and using our mundane senses, we cannot understand Krishna. What it means is, when my consciousness is mundane, my senses are also mundane. But when my consciousness is purified, the senses become purified. And the process of purifying my senses is bhakti. So, when I purify my senses using bhakti means what? Bhakti means to understand who is Krishna, to understand Hrishikesh, to understand that Krishna is behind my senses. So when that happens, Krishna, my consciousness gets awakened, and therefore my senses get awakened, and through those same senses, I can then perceive Krishna, because now it is just not iron, but it is red hot iron. Because it is now red hot, I can perceive the heat in the iron. Because Krishna is now I'm able to realize that he is behind it. So therefore, bhakti, by doing the process of bhakti, my senses get spiritualized. My consciousness and senses get spiritualized. So therefore, because my consciousness and senses get spiritualized, then the same senses paves me the way to understand Krishna. Does it make sense? Yeah, that is why Narada Muni says, you can't understand him with your senses, but he is behind your consciousness. He is behind the senses. So by knowing that he is behind my senses, then I can understand him. Then I can come to the platform of understanding him with the same senses. This is my understanding. Prabhuji.
We understand Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna. Even though it's said that we can't understand Krishna by our blunt material senses, we actually have spiritual senses.
Yes, true.
Spiritual identity, our spiritual personality.
Yeah.
And so it's that revelation, if you like, of our spiritual identity that occurs at the same time as our realization of who Krishna is. It's mystical, actually. What
Yeah.
happens, what we experience when we perform devotional services is it happens by Krishna's mercy. What is it?
Aham eva. Chamtama. Nashayami atma bhavastu. Nashayami atma bhavastu. Jnana deepena.
With transcendental knowledge.
Yeah.
It's revealed to us by Krishna out of his compassion.
Yeah.
Well, I'm feeling compassionate and I reveal these things. So a lot of what we do comes from chanting Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
And when we're chanting Hare Krishna, we're praying, Krishna, please engage me
In your service.
And then when we do the service, these things are revealed to us. There's that story about the professor who came to Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And he had some questions to ask. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur told him to go and wash the pots. Right. And then when he came back, he said, what are your questions? He said, they've all been answered. Right. So, our process is very mystical in that we chant Hare Krishna and a lot is revealed to us, and then we do service and even more is revealed to us. And in one sense, it's almost like the more you try to serve Krishna, the more he reveals himself. The more you try to see Krishna, the less you can actually perceive. And there's that statement Prabhupada says, don't try to find Krishna under a bush in Vrindavan. Right? But rather act in such a way so that Krishna will be attracted to you and he'll reveal himself. So very much of what we do is, at least this is my understanding, is chant good rounds, chant Hare Krishna and try to, just concentrate on being with Krishna and just trying to be a good servant. And then everything else gets kind of revealed in due course of time. The mist, the clouds and the mists of ignorance are dissipated by that association with Krishna